Hey guys, how's it going? Mr. Morris. Just want to go through a couple of things about how to write a paper. Okay, and we've done this paper before. This is our classic archaeology slash modern archaeology paper. But what is it we're looking for, right? Now, if you remember in class, I said we're looking for four. See me there? Four paragraphs. Your first paragraph needs to be a thesis paragraph. Your next two paragraphs are body paragraphs that are summarizing the two articles we read. And your fourth paragraph needs to be your conclusion that agrees with your thesis. So let's take a look at what we have. Okay. This is the reboot that we're doing here in class. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read this whole article here about classic archaeology. Okay. Remember this? This is about this guy named Gio Belzoni in 1815. He took a big statue and sold it to a French guy, made a lot of money. And then another guy down here, this Richard Weiss in 1837, he blew up parts of the Great Pyramid and then sold stuff, and everybody started coming to Egypt. But it wasn't until this guy right here, this David Randall McIver, until he finally said, "Hey guys, we're destroying Egypt's history." And he wrote this paper, and it says this is the first time they'd ever had actually a cultural paper written about the problems with old archaeology. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about who wrote this paper, right? Well, this paper is written right here by Rebecca Unger. Okay. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to write down Classic Archaeology by Rebecca Unger. I'm going to write that right here on this line. And then down here, well, what's the main point of this entire article? What is it? What is this whole thing about? Well, I've taken some notes. I've written every paragraph. Okay. I've annotated every paragraph in my own words. I've taken this paragraph and I've kind of melted it down into 15 words or less. I've taken this paragraph and I've melted it down to 15 words less. I've taken this paragraph, melted it down to 15 words less. But what's the whole point? Well, isn't the whole point old archaeology or classic archaeology is about discovering artifacts for money and selling stuff? Well, if the whole point of this article is about taking artifacts and selling it, then maybe we should write that down. The main point is finding artifacts, right? Classic archaeology is about finding old artifacts and selling them to make money. And then down here, what proves that? What does she say, Rebecca Unger say in these three paragraphs to prove that this article is about taking artifacts and selling them for money? Well, we have this Gio Belzoni right here who did that. Down here, we have this Richard Weiss who blew holes into the pyramid. Okay. These are both evidence pieces we can write down here for evidence to prove our main point. And then another one we can even write about is the fact that there was a professor, David Randall McIver, who finally said, "Hey, we need to stop doing this" in 1907. That might even be a pretty good piece to put right here to help prove the main part of classic archaeology, of course. This article is about making money off artifacts. Okay. So we have our citation, the name of the article and who wrote it. We have our main point and we have our evidence. That's really important to know. Then we're going to move down here to the next one, The Purpose of Modern Archaeology by Stephen Bradish. And if you remember correctly in this article, what does it say? It says the purposes of modern archaeology are to learn about the past, more educational than it was. They talked to this guy named Dr. Thomas Kramer from Princeton, and Dr. Thomas Kramer says it's vital that we know about our past so we can learn what they did wrong and even learn what they did right. Then down here, it gives a definition of what modern archaeology is. It says it's about understanding and living and surviving and knowing how these people of the past did this through social organization, through religious beliefs, through family structure and other societies. And finally, Dr. Kramer down here at the bottom says, we are basically building a bridge between the past and who we are today with the artifacts found. We're studying them and learning who we were as a people. Wait, here it says cite the article again. Well, who wrote this? Well, the name of it is The Purpose of Modern Archaeology by Stephen Bradish. I'm going to write that right here. The next one, what's the main point? Well, once again, we've annotated, right? We took this paragraph, we've taken that paragraph, we've taken that paragraph, 15 words or less, 15 words or less, 15 words or less, what it's about. But this whole article right here, this main article, I think this whole thing right here, ladies and gentlemen, is about what? It's about new archaeology studying the artifacts to learn who we were in the past. So I would write The point of this article by Stephen Bradish is to better understand how modern archaeology better helps us as a society learn about our past. Now, what does it say here to prove it? How do we prove our main point? Well, it says here that Dr. Thomas says that it is vital for our lives to learn about the past, learn about the mistakes. Modern archaeology here is to gain a better understanding of who we were as a people, social organization in the past. And then down here it even says that we're trying to build a bridge. These three things right here are great evidence pieces to prove the point of this article. Okay, citation, main point, and then our evidence. Now let's move down to writing this thing. Okay, well, first of all, we need a thesis statement, and that's completely up to you. What is the point you want to make with this paper? Okay, old archaeology, new archaeology. What is the overall argument you want to make, and how do you prove it? Well, personally, I'm going to say modern archaeology is better for our society than classic archaeology was. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to write that right here. Okay. Now here it says write two sentences that show the outlines or the main point of each article. Well, we already did that. That's easy. So I have P1 right here, right? So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to write down right where this little star is. I'm going to write down the main point, this one sentence article right here, this one sentence main point of this article. I'm going to write that right here. And then I'm going to go up here to the next one, what talks about the purpose of modern archaeology, and I'm going to write down the main point. I'm going to write that sentence right underneath it right here. So now I have my thesis and my two main points of my two articles. One paragraph is done. Now I'm going to come down here. Now I have to write down what is the main point and the evidence. Well, that's simple. I've already done that up here. Okay, citation. Here's what I'm going to write. Who wrote this first article? Okay, this was written in the article Classic Archaeology by Rebecca Unger, right, which is right here. I'm going to start this right here. And the rest of this information I'm going to put here is right here. I'm going to start that second paragraph with my citation in the article Classic Archaeology by Rebecca Unger. It says, then I'm going to put my three evidence points right here. Boom. I'm going to put them right here. Boom, boom, boom. Then I go down here to my third paragraph, which is my second body paragraph. I'm going to go up here to this one. And I'm going to put down in the article, The Purpose of Modern Archaeology by Stephen Bradish, it says, I'm going to put that right here. I'm going to lead with my citation and my article title. And then I just did this. I'm going to put my one, two, three evidence points. I'm going to put them right here. 1, 2, and 3. Then the final thing I'm going to do, okay, it says paragraph 5. Don't worry about that. We're going to skip that. We're going to write our opinion. Okay, so what I would write, as you can see, I think modern archaeology is better for our society than classic archaeology is, period. Because, now write why. Because as I've shown, modern archaeology helps us understand our past, what they did right and what they did wrong. Classic archaeology is about selling all the artifacts without studying them for money. How are we ever going to know about who we were unless we study our artifacts from our old cultures? That's how I'm going to end my paper. You don't need this last part. This is a whole nother piece. So we have paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, and paragraph 4. We're done with our paper. That's how simple this is. We're going to go over this in class. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in class when we talk about this. But don't be frustrated about this. This is such a great way, a great recipe on how to write a good argumentative paper. Talk to you guys later. Bye.